Hello, I am Endlessness and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, and in this video I wanted to give you a guide for Gallonbaloir EX3 battle in the Critical Threat event, and this EX3 battle has recommended 300,000 combat power. Gallonbaloir Humus EX3 has the same mechanics as EX2, and I personally haven't noticed any significant difference than him doing more damage and have more HP. He is also weak to wind and specifically physical wind attacks, so you definitely need some solid wind DPS here. Humus will also buff his wind resistance, so you need a weapon that decreases it. It's crucial for this battle, and Gallonbaloir has a few diamond sigil phases, so I think having at least one diamond sigil weapon on your team might benefit you. Gallonbaloir also uses physical attacks on both normal and charge attacks, so if you need to, you could stock up some physical defense on your characters, and his attacks are also earth based, so you might want to equip some earth resistance weapon if you're struggling. I am using Aerith, Sephiroth and Matt, and my team has 226,000 power. Aerith will be my debuffer, Sephiroth DPS and Matt healer, and also my full team is at level 80 with maxed nodes. Starting with Matt, he has Gear Voucher outfit and Gigantic Shield in his limit slot, then Centipede in main weapon slot, and in secondary slot I have put Bahamut Summon Weapon to break sigils. In sub-equipment slots I have Guard Stick to boost Matt's heals and 4-point Shuriken for some HP and buff debuff extension. As for materia, Matt has a Cura materia for single target heals, and then those other two are just stat sticks, so Matt has 10.6 HP, 2.8 heal and 156 physical defense. Then I have Aerith with default story outfit and Breath of the Earth in limit slots, and then in main weapon slot I have Flora 1 to decrease wind resistance, and in sub-equipment slot I have put two weapons to boost her physical attack, and then all those are just stat sticks, and Aurora Blow is just for some DPS. So Aerith has 7.7 HP, 2.6 physical attack and 132 physical defense. Lastly, I have Sephiroth with Wind Mastery outfit and Ardent Flare in his limit slot to buff his attack, then Dark Havens in main weapon slot to boost his wind DPS, and in sub-equipment slots I have Falcon to boost his wind potency and Enemy Launcher to boost his attack a little bit. And all his materia are just stat sticks, so Sephiroth has 9.5 HP, 3.9 physical attack and 110 physical defense. Some notes: I have many equipment slots empty and I did that to lower my team's stats and power, but you should definitely use your best weapons and materia here to boost your attack or HP or any other stats you might need. For this battle, you also need to decrease Gallonbaloir's wind resistance, otherwise he will keep buffing himself and eventually will become immune to any kind of wind damage. Since we don't have any wind bridge materia, there are only two weapons in the game that can decrease wind resistance, and one is Aerith with Flora Wand and the other is Nanaki with his new silver color in the newest banner. And as for wind DPS units, we have Sephiroth with Wind Mastery, but we also have Yuffie with Wind Arcanum, or if you have built Tifa, then she has more drive that can also do a lot of DPS. Ideally you want to deplete Gallonbaloir's wind gauge, otherwise, especially later in the battle, his charged rush attack could kill you since it will hit much harder. So the battle starts exactly the same as the EX2, so you have to break 5 diamond sigils, which you can do exactly the same, so Sephiroth can do his DPS, but with Aerith do Flora 1 twice to decrease wind resistance, and it'll be close but it's always consistent. And with Sephiroth you can just continue to do DPS to inflict as much damage as you can, but here you want to switch to Matt to preserve ADB to have enough for to recover after this rush attack, which you should always switch to defense after the stagger phase, so he won't kill you. But here in the X3 he also inflicts physical defense debuff with 3 stacks, so it's a little bit more than on the X2, but it just means you have to recover a little bit more, that's it. But this wind gauge you want to deplete, so you have to inflict as you have to nullify this wind resistance buff, and then just try, hopefully have enough DPS to deplete it, to stun him, and so his rush attack will not do too much damage. But also when he's stunned you have a little bit more time to do some more DPS here. And again, that's standard, so here, recover HP. And I am switching between Sephiroth and Aerith because I want to keep this wind resistance debuff on the boss as high as I can. So it benefits Sephiroth, so he will do a little bit more attack. But here we have Meteor Cluster, and this will target a single character, and in EX3 it will deal significantly more damage. So Cura, single target Cura in this case, it will benefit you because Aerith in my case, she will survive even though she has the least amount of HP, so only 7.7 HP, but she will not die. So that's fine, you don't need like 12,000 HP to survive this. So here just Cura, and now we have the second Scissor phase where Gallonbaloir will recover. So ideally that's why you want to have at least one Diamond Sigil weapon to break them faster, so he won't be able to recover as much HP. But if you would have Nanaki here with his newest silver color, you could have two Diamond Sigil breaking weapons, so you could do it much faster. But also after I break this, I will use my limit breaks just to nullify those debuffs, and so Sephiroth might do a little bit more damage here. And now it's another stagger phase, so you know, just do DPS, recover as much as you can, and prepare for another rush attack. Now of course it's another meteor cluster, but it just depends on your DPS. If you do enough damage, you can finish him off before he charges it. If not, then you just have to make sure that ideally your character will survive. If not, you should be able to finish it with two characters, that should be fine. But if you can't finish him, just switch to defense. But this one, as you can see, it already deals a little bit more damage. But it's fine, just recover and Storm Shield, so again you have to nullify this with resistance and just try to deplete this gauge. But yeah, next attack will kill him. This stun is always nice if you can get it, but mostly this wind gauge you have to deplete, because if you won't, he'll do a lot more damage and this rush attack could potentially kill your team. But yeah, that's the battle. It's not much harder, even though it has recommended 300,000 power, which is insanely high. This battle doesn't feel like it's so hard. Like those Summon EX2 battles, they have 260 and they are nowhere near as hard as, nowhere near as easy as this one, which has 300,000. But yeah, that's the whole battle, so I hope you found this guide helpful, and thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next one.